All right, Knights of Apollo, what is up, guys? We are back with another medieval siege battle, and look at the brave civilians here. Look at this. Look at these. Look, and they're not even looking at they're like looking at the sun. I don't know what they're doing, but I think they've gotten I don't know, like possessed or something. They're right in the front wall. They've got these massive siege towers headed directly straight for them. Anyways, we're back playing 1212 AD, and this is a quite the dilemma here for the defender. So we've got one player versus two, so two armies versus one army. It's going to be a very difficult situation. You can tell by just looking at this balance of power, that is not looking good. Red being the defenders, yellow being the attackers. So it's going to be a tough situation, and they're going to have to rely on some pretty crafty strategy and tactics to try to pull out a victory here. So we do have the French defending, and the general being Joan of Arc. Here she is. Look at this. She has eyes that could melt your soul. Yeah, no, she's suited up. She's ready to go. Definitely not going to be fighting. I mean, I'm sure she'll fight, but historically, she was just kind of riding around and giving out commands and stuff. She did do strategic stuff, so I do want to give her credit for that. She was a strategic mind, which is really impressive because what? She started when she was like 16. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways, on the attacking side, we have Austria. So Austria bringing their Pavis spears here in the front line. They've got nice footmen in the back as well. The sergeants, look at these lads, ready to storm the castle and bring down the French. Now, their ally is the Duchy of Lorraine, and they're already scaling the walls as we speak. Running into some traps, but that's okay. There will be casualties. There will be sacrifices in taking this settlement. So we got some sergeant swordsmen. Hold on, I'm gonna see what happened to the town folk here. Oh, they're like, oh, maybe if we don't move, they won't see us. I don't know why they're English. They're like, how did we end up in this conflict? We're not even with the French. But yeah. Yeah, they're just chilling, and it looks like this strategy is working. So whatever happens in this battle, at least we know the four villagers here, which, by the way, look at the aesthetic here of this villager. Very nice. I like the sun hat. I like the pitchfork. Very, very traditional, nice style there. The rest, you know, these guys look like twins. I guess he's okay. I mean, he looks like he put on a little bit of armor almost, but he's like, you know what? He's probably like a soldier, and he's just like, I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna fight. I'm just gonna dress up like a peasant and try to, I don't know, blankly look at the sky, and hopefully they don't bother me. And so far, oh, hold on. They're getting awfully close to some soldiers. Looks like they're inspecting the situation as they awkwardly fall off the siege tower here. But yeah, there's nothing going on because the defenders aren't defending the walls. I guess we can do normal speed here. No, they're just like, yo, what's up? You live here? Oh, no, we're just, we don't live here. We're just, you know, coming through. We're just passing by, so don't worry about us. All right, checks out. We won't slaughter you. All right, so, yeah, they're taking the outer walls, and this is really no surprise here. I really don't think if there's any chance, and this is the great dilemma when you're outnumbered like this. Now, there is a big advantage to holding the walls when the numbers are even, you know, when you have enough troops to make it possible. But we're in a situation here where the defenders, they don't have enough numbers to cover all this ground. This is a massive settlement, and their army just doesn't have the numbers. So they are going to be using kind of like a scorched earth kind of method here, policy, I guess you could say, where they're going to hold the inner defenses, the inner choke points of the city. You can see they're going to rely on a combination of arms here. We've got French archers, and we've got Pavis spears, so basically a heavily armored, big shielded spear unit forming a shield wall, and they even got some barricades here, which will hold out for a couple seconds at the most, so this is not going to really do much for them here. I don't know if they're going to hold here for long. They might just, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, they're going to use combined arms to try to hold off the enemy here. The problem with this strategy in Total War Attila is that the attackers can burn down buildings. Now, I think the units need like a raiding ability. I don't know how many units have a raiding ability in 1212 AD. Raiding as in the ability allows them to throw torches on the building and set aflame the town. So they've got to watch out for that. If they do too much damage to the city, it's going to weaken the fighting power of the troops, you know, their potential, their fighting force. But anyways, let's fast forward here a little bit, because again, we're just kind of waiting for them to move up. There's no initial defense at this one. It's just letting them take the cities. They've set up traps over here. I like that. At least they're doing something here. They're trying to get some damage, and it looks like, well, they killed about 9 of them. That's not bad. These traps don't really do much for you, but it's something, right? It's some sort of resistance. But yeah, they're about to clash here with the spears. If we look over here, the Duchy of Lorraine is pushing pretty far on this. This would be their like left side here. So they're going to push far, and that makes sense. I like this move by the Duchy of Lorraine. You know why? Because this path is a path of least resistance. There is not a lot of defensive troops here. And if you cut down this road, if you go down this road, it is fairly close to the town center. Now, don't get me wrong. Once they get to this area over here, where this cav unit is, it's going to be a lot of resistance. It's going to be a lot of units. It's going to be a lot of deadly troops, good troops, like troops that are good at holding choke points, like these well, I don't know how to pronounce it, but these halberd units. Let's go back over here, because we do finally have the first infantry clash of the siege battle right in the market. You know, you would think they wouldn't set up this fresh market here. I guess you could argue this is a sudden siege, but all this time and effort to put up, and look at the beautiful fruits. Looks like you got some peaches, maybe. I really don't know. Apples, probably more likely apples. I know peaches are originally from Asia, right? I mean, it's possible, but I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so they got halberds now charging in as well, trying to reinforce the spears. We've got just a big old tank battle right here of clankers, fully armored boys swinging swords at each other. And it looks like France is doing a pretty good job here, but this is just the beginning of this fight. I also like the fact that, you know, sometimes when you give up the walls like this, you see how they've given up the walls? Well, obviously, you know that. It can give a vantage point for archers, so where they can fire down and weaken enemy infantry and stuff. But, you know, the defenders are so far back, that doesn't really come into play. So that's a pretty nice play here by the French. I think, you know, they've created enough space, and they've got this building here that's kind of protecting them from archer fire. So pretty good stuff right there, that is for sure. But they have, like I said, they've got a long way to go. They've got a big journey of defending ahead of them. So looks like the Duchy of Lorraine is taking control of the gates. They got to be careful. They can lose troops to these towers. Yes, they do crumble when you take them over. Or do they not? Pretty sure. Are they not capturing this? Like, what's going on here? Like, how are they not capturing this? It says it's under their control. Doesn't the... I'm so lost. I'm extremely lost. Don't the towers like crumble when you take control of it? Austria is in control of it. I don't know what's going on there, but it's the arrow towers are just rebellious. They're like, no, we don't follow these gaming mechanics, okay? We don't follow these stupid mechanics. We don't crumble at the first sight of you capturing it. So we're just gonna sit here and just keep shooting at you. Is that okay? Is that okay with you? It seems like it is, though. I mean, I don't know. It's like they're attacking this gate here, but yet they have a ram that they could push up to destroy the gate. I don't know what's going on there. They are moving forward, so that's good, but I guess they're just gonna weaken the gate. It's kind of like, you know, you're trying to open a jar of pickles and you just can't do it, and then you give it to your girlfriend or your mom, depending on some of you guys. And they open it just with ease, and you're like, well, I weakened it for you. Maybe these guys over here are just like, we're just gonna weaken it for you. Maybe that's the case. So anyways, let's go back over here where we have more fighting going on. We've got a barricade that is holding some longbows for the French forces, which are actually racking up some pretty solid kills. This is the tricky part to this defense, though, too, is like, how do you manage your ammo? Oh my god, they turned their backs on the longbows. That just pretty much evaporated this entire unit. Just evaporated. Like OxyClean onto a stain. Gone. But yeah, they, you know, how are they going to manage their ammo? They can't just use it all at once. Even though that seems like a possibility, it seems like fruitful if you do that, if you know what I mean. Like, if you use all your ammo, you probably rack up a lot of kills. But at the same time, this is the other problem. You got Pavi's crossbows here for Austria that are just blasting this front. Look at he's like, what do we do about this? He's looking at his buddy. He's like, hey, what are we just standing here? He's like, yeah, I guess so. He's like, we're just gonna stand here. Like, he's looking back. He's like, we're just gonna stand. Why are you cheering? Why are you cheering? We're getting shot. We're getting shot. This is not good. I mean, it's not good. Oh, the crossbows are gone. Oh, here they are. They're reformed. He's like, oh, okay. Okay, he's like, all right, good. Oh, I think he just died right there. All right, so yeah, they're gonna fall back the halberds, which is good. The dismounted French knights, actually, pretty epic. But yeah, they're gonna use this. That's smart. Use the shield to kind of block. And I like that he's not running away per se, because I feel like you got to try to exhaust the enemy archer ammo, and if you run away, you don't do that. So I think just by holding his ground and letting these crossbows just kind of open fire on them, you know, yes, he might lose some spears here, but it's better than losing the dismounted French knights, which are way more vulnerable to the missile fire. So this is good. This is good. And this unit is cheaper, I think. It doesn't have as high of a killing potential. It's really good at holding choke points, but that's about it. And, you know, that's what they're there for. The big old shields kind of defend against enemy archer fire. So they finally have gotten this gate, but look at these arrow towers. They're still just like, whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, the rules don't apply to me, okay? So I'm just going to keep sitting here and firing at you guys. Like, what the hell? What the hell's going on? It's kind of freaking me out. I don't know. Is this like, maybe they fixed it in the mod or something, but it kind of backfired because even though they captured this, the arrow towers are still shooting at them. I think they just need to get out of here. I just need to get out, because these will add up kills. They'll rack up kills. So this is some good news for the defenders. Really good news. All right, his longbows are about half ammo. Doing a really great job with this this barricade here, giving him a nice vantage point. You got a little bit of an archer battle. That's good. Oh, these French knights. Oh, they are. This guy has an arrow in his chest. Look at that. Every breath he makes, that looks like it's in his heart. Oh, it disappeared. So he's okay now. I was gonna say, every breath he takes is just another breath closer to death, which is kind of true for all of us. But anyways, oh, I don't know if you heard that, but my little doggy's in here, so making some ruckus. But yeah, we got the Pavi's spears just trying to hold back these sergeants. The sergeants are adding another unit to the fray. I am glad that they are just kind of like, you know, just sending more, instead of just sitting back and shooting their crossbows. And that's a pretty good idea for the attackers. That's what I would do too. I wouldn't use my ammo too early, even though you have a 2-to-1 you know, army ratio and you have more archers. I would try to hold on to the archer ammo, because the number one reason here is that once you push them back to the town center, you could use all that ammo very effectively, you know what I mean? So it's a pretty nice situation, that's for sure. Oh, sorry guys, didn't mean to do that. And here we go, here comes the dismounted French knights. They're like, you know, they are ready to charge in and show these Austrians, you know, show them what for. Nobody thinks of Austria in the medieval times. No, I'm just kidding, they do. Actually, Apollo, actually. So we've got archers over here in the back. They're in a little bit of a tussle right now. Are these archers? No, they're just kind of sitting there taking it right now. They haven't lost a single archer, though. 98 out of 98, 98 out of 98. They've taken some hits, though, so that's I mean, I'm sure at any moment they're going to start to drop here. This is actually not bad. This is not bad. I mean, the archers aren't dropping in crazy high numbers. In fact, they've yet to drop a single soldier still, which is crazy. So they are definitely causing these guys to waste a lot of ammo. They're having to fire. It's a very far distance. I mean, they're still very accurate. That's just how the game is. There we go. They're starting to drop now. They've lost one soldier. Now there's blood everywhere. Oh my god, the poor lad. The one guy who dies. He's covered in arrows too. He took a good few before he went down, but yeah, unfortunately he's out of this world. But yeah, we're gonna fall back there. That's not bad. That you got them to waste a good amount of couple volleys. Let's go back over to the other side here. We've got a little street battle going on, and this is definitely gonna be a battle of choke points for sure. Sergeants from Austria taking on the sergeants mixed in with some kind of spear unit. It looks like a Pavi spear unit. So they're kind of fighting it out in the streets. It looks nice. And then over on this side, we've got another street battle. This one is a little lesser in terms of numbers. We've got late period sergeants taking on sergeant swordsmen, which the sergeant swordsmen, just by quick appearance, doesn't look like they're as good. Their armor looks a little lighter, though I don't know for sure. It could just be deceptive there. I don't know. It just looks like the French sergeants are gonna win this. Unless they send up more, of course. And then we've got a push over here by the Duchy of Lorraine. Fear the mercenary Swiss company, that's for sure. They've got the long pikes. That's going to be a huge issue for choke point situations. And this is definitely a unit that I would say, hey, exhaust some ammo on. Get some archers. What is going on over here? There we go. Here comes the ammo. Perfect. They already killed the guy. So yeah, they just can't get into formation. Okay, there you have it. So yeah, kill these guys. They're gonna ruin your defense. Oh, man, rest in peace. Your choke point defense. What's going on over here? We've got a couple stragglers here, a couple people missing invisible calves. But yeah, we've got a nice little tussle going on. We've got some Pavi's Levy holding off this pretty epic looking unit. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Doesn't look good for they're definitely gonna have to send up more. They're gonna send up a lot more. We got the third company, I guess. It looks like a longbow type unit. Over here we've got the Duchy of Lorraine going to capture this tower here, which is smart. Hopefully it's already destroyed. It's not firing, so this doesn't really do anything, but it's more things to capture. They are retreating the pikemen, which is good because they are now down to 105, originally 120. And they're setting up some more Pavis. But I definitely think they need to send up more troops here. Well, actually, it's not going too bad. It's not going too bad. We'll see how that plays out. Let's go over to the other side of the battle here. Let's actually slow down the camera here a little bit. It's a little too quick. All right, this is something that I'm a little surprised by. So over here, they're still fighting. You know, they're still putting up the good fight. And it looks like the attackers are on the verge of breaking through here. The numbers are really thinning out. It looks thin, and it doesn't look like the French are committing any more troops over here. Cancel that. They are moving up some troops as we speak. This is the Sergeant at Arms, high period. But they're kind of holding back now. Maybe they're just going to rest them a little bit and wait. But we got a situation over here. This is something that surprised me. I'm surprised it took them this long to attack this barricade. So they have now sent the general of Lorraine, Duchy of Lorraine, to try to destroy this barricade. They're gonna fall back now, which I don't really know why. I guess the archers were threatening them, but nah, it's all right. It's smart. It's smart. You don't want to lose your general by just a random arrow. But yeah, they've got some foot knights now making their way forward to destroy this barricade. That's a much better target for arrows than, say, your general. So yeah, they're going to push forward and destroy this barricade, and that's going to cause some problems for this French defense. Now, the French are breaking some of the swordsmen here, but again, this is a losing battle. It's really what this battle is about. Look how epic these sergeants are. Oh my god, look at these guys. Very cool, very cool. So yeah, they've reinforced the line. They should break the Austrian sergeants, but what I mean by losing battle is that it's obviously the defenders aren't going to hold here forever, and it's really at this point, and the defenders know that, you know, I don't think he's like actually thinking he's going to hold this, but what he's trying to do is trying to kill as many as possible, inflicting as many casualties on the enemy as possible before they advance anymore on the settlement. But this is a problem, and he has no answer for it, so I don't like this. I really don't like this. He doesn't have anything, guys. I mean, literally nothing. Nothing here to hold this danger zone. Okay, good. Good. Yes. Yes. Perfect. That's a good move. So he's now moving back his sergeants. So he's probably going to line them up right here. Now, the bad thing is you're going to lose this morale-boosting town center area, but that's what you're going to have to do. It's just how it's going to be. And look at that. Perfect timing. They've broken through, and that's the first layer of defense, basically. It's been conquered. It's been bloody, but we'll see how this plays out. Okay, so the Duchy of Lorraine is sending some foot knights. We do have some Pavi's crossbows over here as well. So I'm glad to see the attackers are stretching their forces and really trying to attack on all sides, really trying to attack on all fronts. And it looks like we had a bit of fighting over here that we kind of missed out on. My bad, guys. You know how I do this. A bit of fighting. My goodness, how did we miss this? I'm so sorry. At least we saw the aftermath. So yeah, they've been fighting in many different places, and here we go. Here's the next stand here, and again, not a surprise, not a surprise here at all. Definitely see the French holding here. This is a solid spot. You can set up some archers here. I just hope he sends up some reinforcements. But now that I look around, it's looking kind of tough for the French right now. It's looking like at any moment, I think he needs to call it quits and fall back to the final last stand. Now, it does, basically what the French need to do at this point, they need to win some battles. They need to win some skirmishes, right? They need to try to free up some infantry. So, for example, if he could win here, defeat these guys in time, he could shift them around and help them in other places, but I just don't even think that's possible. I just think they need to fall back now. I just don't think they have enough troops to hold all these forces. And what are the attackers going to do? They're going to be surgical about it. They're going to send up the Pavi's crossbows, and they're going to fire from a distance. And that's going to even weaken his disadvantage right now. Which does that make sense? Weaken his disadvantage? That does not make sense. What I'm trying to say is he's going to make the disadvantage even worse. Right? He's going to make the numbers even worse for the defenders. So it's time to just pack up shop. You know, get these guys out of here. Put them in the town center, because over here you got 4 choke points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And not only that, they're close to each other. So if you have to quickly peel a unit away and support a different choke point, you can get there in a timely manner. But we're getting close to 20 minutes left in this battle, so you know there's still a lot of quite a bit of fighting here. And look at these halberds. Oh, these halberds are going to be nasty. So these guys are fighting a good fight. I think they can win here, but it doesn't really matter. There's more reinforcements on the way. That's why I'm like, just get everybody out. Just fall back. I mean, the French still have... Oh, these are pikes over here. Pikes, and we got some Pavis going in. Oof. And the archers are concentrating their fire. It does appear that he is falling back his troops. It does appear that he is making a maneuver here to save some of his forces. What's going on here? Oh, we had a little bit of a sally out here, so to speak. Gendarmes. Heavy cav with skull smashing, skull denting, maces, and pickaxes. Ooh, beautiful. Useful weapons against heavily armored enemies. So they're going to keep fighting here, and they're actually having a lot of success here against the foot knights. Yeah, they've broken the foot knights. Now these crossbows are in the danger zone. They're in the danger zone. I'm curious if if the Joan of Arc's going to charge out here, because they could run down these Pavi's crossbows. They could run them down. This unit has full ammo. Full ammo. So this would be a huge win, and it is a win. It's winning right now. They are winning right now. Okay, so the French are falling back. Thank God. That's a good move. I think if they want any chance of winning this battle, they must fall back. You must. A little Star Wars reference. But yeah, they're gonna hold some troops back. I get it. You don't want the floodgates rushing in. You need some sort of sense, some sense of control and organization. You gotta leave some units behind, which really sucks. But it is what it is, because if you leave the floodgates open, they can storm in troops and disrupt your final stand, which is not a good sign. It's not a good thing. So yes, Joan of Arc has charged in. Where's the beautiful lass? Where is she? Okay, she's disengaging. There she is. She's in the front line. She's like, woof. Nearly fought someone there. Just kind of, I guess, like a moral support. Oh, they're disengaging. Ooh. A charge in the rear of those crossbows. I don't think it hurt them, but yeah. So they're disengaging. They could easily charge back in and get these archers. I guess they're just kind of like, whatever. I don't know. I feel like they missed out on an opportunity there. They're now getting shot in the back as they fall back. It makes sense. At this point, you can't turn back, because if you turn back, they're just going to hold their ground and fire more arrows, point blank, or not point blank, but just straight in your face, bolts. They're going to pierce your armor and kill your knights. Not a good thing. So, yeah, okay. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. We've got more cav over here. Get these guys out of here. This infantry is victorious. Get them out. The French are doing pretty good here. Now is the time. Now is the time to fall back and get these guys out of here, because if you wait too long and these troops are engaged in combat, they're not coming home. You know, they're not going to fall back. They can't, because their backs will be exposed to angry enemies. And over here, look at this. I cannot believe this. These guys are still holding. They're still holding in the center. Now, they are going to break here at any moment. They're about to be flanked upon. But, man, they held for a long time. Is this the original unit? I don't know. I can't say for sure, but still, nonetheless, a great stand here by these sergeants, and they do break. Unfortunately, it looks like they're going to shatter here. We'll see if they can escape and maybe return to the battle. Now, let's look at the numbers here. Now we're at a little bit of a slow pace in the fight. The defenders are still outnumbered by more than double. So if we're looking at the start of the battle to the battle now, the kill D is about the same. The ratio is about the same. It's a little worse than I think the start of the battle. That doesn't. The number of troops you have left isn't necessarily a indicator of how you're gonna do, because you could have like a whole army of tired, no ammo archers, which sure there's a lot of them, but that's not necessarily high quality. It's not necessarily a good thing. So we got Cav pushing over on the right flank, over on the left. They're still just holding their ground. It looks like they're just gonna stay here and hold. This is gonna be tough. They've got archers up on the wall. See, this is good play by the attackers. I like this. Look at this. Very good play. Very cool play. Got the big like citadel in the back there. They're just kind of opening fire, doing some damage. But we'll see how it's playing out. I mean, it looks like they're going after the archers. Oh, he's sallying out. He's pushing up. I like it. He's getting aggressive because he doesn't want to die to arrows. But I still think it would have been better to just retreat his troops here. But, he probably sees over here, hey, there's not a lot of enemy forces. Maybe I can win on this flank of the settlement, and that's going to free up a lot of stuff. He's also pushed forward, and it's left a gap in the line, so maybe, well, it looked like he was going to try to do something there with the gendarmes, but it doesn't look like he's going to go through with it. Now, he does have some dismounted French knights closing in through the gap. I think he's going to double team. Oh, yeah, very nice play. No, Negative. I don't like that. Okay. I think he would have been more effective if he ran a little bit longer down this way and then charged the side of these pavis instead of taking them head on. Let the archers take them on head on. Just pin them in place and then flank around. I think he missed an opportunity there. I think he did. But yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's still a good play. It's still a good move. I just think it could have been better. But yeah, this is actually turning out to be pretty close. I would say the defender is doing a pretty solid job. If we look at settlement damage, only 1%. So I guess role-playing wise, I guess you could argue that the attackers are here to preserve the city and they don't want to destroy it. But it is affecting them. So more sergeant at arms are holding this front line again. And oh, we've got some knights. The knights are joining the sergeants. Morale plus 10. Instant boner. All right, so yeah, they're gonna hold this line with the sergeants, and now we've got more sergeants from Austria. Both sides just flinging sergeants in the situation. Pavi's crossbowmen just chilling over here, but they don't really have a target to go for, so not really doing much there. All right, so back over here we got a cav charge. Unfortunately, their own troops kind of get in the way there. But I like the aggressiveness by the defender here. Again, personally, I think I would have fallen back in this situation. But he's not doing bad, actually. He's actually doing pretty good. So what do I know? You know, I'm just some idiot. Some pleb. You know? I don't know anything. But archer fire is becoming a problem here for the attackers. This is a problem. You definitely got to disengage from this. You need archer support to deal with these pikes. The pikes are still at 100, so they're still doing plenty good. Back over here, we got archers up on the walls. Still trying to soften up the numbers from afar, but you know, it's tough. They got a lot of friendlies in the way, so I don't know how effective these archers are being. Yeah, so back over in the center, we've got a big push by Austria. This is great for the French because the more they funnel in, the better. Kind of, you know, gives you a little Thermopylae opportunity kind of thing. Back over here, though, there's plenty of reserves. Look at this. We got 1, 2, 3 units of infantry. We got a 4th, but it's pretty depleted. And then we've got a Pompey's crossbow unit that has not lost a single man, probably barely used any ammo, so that's going to be a problem later on. But we'll see. Maybe, just maybe, the defenders can inflict enough casualties. And look at this. The French got some Swiss mercenaries of their own, which they are kind of zoning out the enemy over here. It's like, hey, if you're going to come over this way, you are going to need some more skirmishers. And they're like, just kidding, we're not falling back. We're going to, I don't know, we're going to go fire at your pikes. See, this is a tough situation. This is why it's good to have ammo as a defender towards the end of the game, because you're a sitting duck without it. And he's going to lose a lot of troops here. This is a tragic loss. He needs to get these guys out of there. What are you doing? No, 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 no. Don't reform like that. Oh, boy. Dude, break phalanx and charge them, or hide behind the building to block the path of those projectiles. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Whoa, whoa, big shift here. Big shift. Lots of breaking. Troops funneling in. Not looking good for the French here. Again, he had some minor successes here and there by being aggressive, but I think it would have been better to just fall back. And now he's got to rush in the general, Joan of Arc, to save some archers here and initially be a front line, which they do scare off the general. I think we also have... Oh, no, yeah. He's scaring off the general of Duchy of Lorraine. But they need to establish some sort of infantry here. Look at this maze here. This hedge mage. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's what they're fighting for. It's what they're fighting for right now. Well, yeah, it's not looking good for the French forces. Currently, they are outnumbered by 1,000 troops. More than double. More than double. So, it's been like that for the entire game. It just seems like the French didn't... It seems like the French... It's not over yet, guys. I mean, there's still 12 minutes in this battle. But it seems like the French had some minor-ish victories. At least some areas so far in the battle where they weren't utterly getting destroyed, but they didn't do that to the attackers. They needed some opportunities where they utterly destroyed some units. That is the only way you're gonna win this siege battle. And the defender has been playing very well so far. I wouldn't say he's made anything too major of mistakes. I think the only thing I could really critique him on is falling back from this area a little sooner, having more of a force in this this little town center area. But yeah, it's not impossible for him to win. I've seen crazier things. It's just unlikely. Again, there's still a 1,000-man difference between these two forces, and the attackers, I mean, I feel like the attackers can get pretty aggressive here. They don't even necessarily need to be tactical about this. Just send in the troops, and you will whittle them down, and you will win this battle. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm hoping. I always root for the underdog, and the French here are definitely the underdog in this little scenario. So maybe, just maybe, they can win this. All right, and we've got Joan of Arc and her bodyguard, I guess you could say, kind of regrouping over here. We got another cav unit. They got a lot of cav units. You know, that's something that, you know, when you have cav, and I'm so glad the defenders did this, when you have cav units, you potentially can rack up a lot of kills. There's a lot of kill opportunity, a kill potential, I guess you could say. So we'll see how that plays out. They've got to get aggressive. They got to get wild with their cav, and they got to hope that they don't really see the cav movement. You know, the attackers maybe will get blindsided by the cav. That's what they've got to hope for. Okay. Kind of good move there. Kind of dodging a lot of arrows. But these archers are falling back. And the attacking archers are getting kind of low on ammo. At least this unit is. This one's like, this one next to it is at half. So they still have a good amount of ammo to just kind of soften up these troops. There's really no need for them to run away, though. You know, I just, like, they just need to attack. And, oh, what's going on here? Good move here. Good move here. We've got Joan of Arc. She did a little bit of a charge there and crushed this infantry. Look at it. They're like, all right. We're done. We're going home. We're going home. Leave us alone. That was a good win right there. You know that? You know why? It's a potential path of opportunity. He could send cav around and get some good cycle charges, some charges on units from behind. You know, there's a window of opportunity, and that's always something to definitely look forward to. You know, or try to use against your opponent. But just kind of looking at the French forces, it's mostly cav. They've got a couple infantry, mostly archers. It's coming down to the dismounted French knights, which are totally epic chads, but I don't know if they're going to be enough. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Yeah, so the sergeants are fighting the good fight for Austria, and I think, okay, there we go. There we go. I was looking for the unit card, because I was like, did they die? Because, you know, sometimes when they break, it disappears. Here comes, yes, more French knights going in for the charge. Glorious, just a glorious epic charge. You know, like, we've heard many charges in history where they're heavily outnumbered, and they do this epic, unbelievable charge that just scares the enemy, even though they have overwhelming numbers. This epic charge to just instantly break their forces, like the Siege of Vienna. So yeah, maybe he was going for that, and it looks like it worked. So look at that. That's so epic. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. Yeah, keep charging. You can get these crossbows, but of course, naturally, he's going to try to run the crossbows away. I like it. Getting aggressive, just going out, you know, going out with a bang. Going out with a bang. All right, here comes a big push of attackers here. Oh, delicious charge there by the gendarmes. And we've got another cav unit of gendarmes in here as well. Look at this, big breaks here. Big breakage going on here. I like it. You know, the French could have just, you know, rolled over and died, but they didn't. They kept fighting. This is epic. Just epic. And then we got the archers. They're just like taking, look at, they're just playing chicken with other archers right now. Just holding their ground, firing at the other archers. I mean, my God, this is huge. The cav is going to disengage. Now we've got archers who have no ammo, who are going to be the chads of the, they're basically the infantry now. Look at this guy. Look at that helmet with like the bird feathers there. I don't, what kind of bird has those feathers? Would it be like a peacock or something? I don't know, whatever. But yeah, let's see how the French knights are doing. I mean, this is kind of crazy. I mean, I still think let's look at the numbers here really quick. Hey, it's no longer a 1,000-man bonus, 1,000-man difference. My God, that cav just charged in. Looked like one of those videos of like when they test the cars, you know, like their crash reports or whatever, or they ram them into a wall. That's what it looked like. Now more and more knights coming in. They're trying their best to break these pavis. I just don't think it's gonna happen. Some really good defiant charging by the French. My God, he's breaking another unit. Okay, well, it's starting to get a little bit out of hand. If he can cause a little bit more breaking, if he can just inflict a little bit more damage. Oh my God, he's breaking. Okay, he's got to get behind these spears. Let's see if he can just. These archers got to break, though. They've got to break. These traitors, these French archers. If they break, that's going to open a charge opportunity on these pikes. The pikes call it off anyways. They're kind of wavering. This is insane, guys. This is insane. All right, so unfortunately, the brave French knights who charge are pretty much all eradicated, all destroyed, vaporized, gone. But their actions will echo for eternity, okay? Their charge was glorious. Wow, some friendly fire. Oh my God, the friendly fire. You gotta hold that. Especially in a situation like this, and it's causing them to break. All right. Okay, what do we got? What do we got here? How can the French win this? Okay. Bunch of crossbows. Bunch of cav. I don't know. Seeing all that cav. They've got 2 units here, and yeah, they're sending them in. Austrian knights. We got the Duke of Austria. Damn. I still think there's too many, but you never know. The French have actually done. I'm really impressed. I'm gonna be real with you guys. When I saw how much time was left in this replay and how little the French troops had, I was like, oh, this is going to be boring as hell. They're not going to do anything here but sit and slowly die. Oh, they're getting crazy. They're getting crazy right now. Can we get a cav charge? And see, they really need to capitalize on like using less of their troops to kill these little, like they need to flank around here and kill this unit as quick as possible. The fact that the attackers are allowing him to chip away at the army slowly is definitely helping the French. Unfortunately, the French archers are breaking. I think that cav is too late. More and more forces making their way. Nice, nice. Okay. Joan of Arc. How you doing, honey? How you doing, sweetie? She's still strong as hell. Look at that. She still has, how many units? Or men? 35 out of 38. So she's still doing well, and yep, there we go. That's another unit gone, broken. And we're looking in terms of numbers. Look how close it is for numbers now. Look at that. That's pretty impressive. And I think the French have been focusing fire on this unit here. Holy crap. Wow. That's pretty crazy. The Pavese crossbows moving forward. This is gonna be scary. Please don't. Okay. I see what he's doing here. He needs to slowly. Okay, well, what do crossbows suck at? They suck at firing over things, right? Not as good as a composite bow or a long bow or whatever. So let's see if. Let's see how he plays this. Yeah, why is he getting so close? He's just gonna charge in. Look at this wedge formation, goes in. Oh, he needs to slice as deep as possible into this formation. That's what he needs to do. Oh, he's gonna do cycle charging. Cycle charging it is. Okay. Not a bad idea, though he unfortunately loses a lot. See, it's almost better to just leave the troops in there. Okay, he could easily break this entire force right here. Does he have cav? Other than the general, and that is a no. That's a big fat no. Okay, this is crazy, guys. Oh, there we go. This is it. This is like the final push. Unfortunately, that charge did not go well for the French, but they do pull off a charge. They need to get in these crossbows' faces. They have a lot of ammo. They need to take them out. Now we've got crossbows moving up this way. Again, we have Austria who's trying to use the crossbows to weaken the defense. There we go. Are they charging into pikes? What in the world? Oh, and look who came back. Joan of Arc. And now the archers are going to go this way, but what about the archers over here? Oh, the general came in and killed that archer unit. Okay, this archer's going to hold back the archer wave. Joan of Arc is going to try to maneuver around, try to get a good hit somewhere. I like how he did that. It peeled the unit away from this fight, but the archers are breaking. And the French army's breaking. What a great fight, though. What an absolute fight to the bitter end. I do enjoy that a lot. Let's go ahead and end the replay and look at the results here. So we've got the French numbers here. Unfortunately, they just didn't get enough kills with the infantry. We've got a lot of infantry in 23, 33, 0. A lot of the Pavese have 0 kills. That's not going to cut it in this type of situation. Seriously, think about it. Think about it this way. If every unit had every unit that was in the 30s or 20s in terms of kills had 10 more kills, that's a couple more units. Couple more units, you could have won this. Oh wait, I'm an idiot, guys. I'm a big time idiot. This is not the French. This is Austria. This is the French, and they did fantastic. Look at the kills of this cav. 330, 366. Joan of Arc, 178. Absolutely fantastic. Really good job. But yeah, I think there's really not much to say. I think the French were just at a huge disadvantage, and they did an extremely well job of fighting, and they did a great job of, making this a close one, even though they were heavily outnumbered. But that's going to wrap it up here, guys, for today's battle. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching the battle with me. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time on the battlefield.